Hi, welcome to our weekly video. I often say that when you're setting up your structure, when you're about to go into business, or even if you're already in business and you're reviewing your structure, you want to set it up in such a way that you actually own very little but control everything. And I often get asked the question, why would you want to do that? And I say you want to do that for two reasons. First one is asset protection. Okay, so if anybody sues you and you don't technically own the asset, you might control it, but you don't own it, no one can come after that asset. So that's the first one, that's asset protection. The second one is actually to do with estate planning, your wills and things like that, because it makes it a lot easier. If you own a lot less, you've got to deal with a lot less at the time when you're dealing with wills and your estate time. So let me give you an example of how it can actually help. A couple of years ago, I dealt with a beautiful couple who had 3 children, 2 daughters who they got along really well with, had wonderful relationships with, and a son who they hadn't actually been involved with, communicated, talked to, or even met in the last 10 years. And when they first came to us and we gave them a bit of advice, one of the things that they came to us and said was, we want to give our wealth to our 2 daughters. And I said, well, actually that's going to be quite hard to do, because your son, even though you have no relationship with your son, has a right to claim on your assets. And at that time their assets were basically the family home, and they had quite a lot of investments too. In fact, their estate was worth about $4.5 million. Okay, so basically what I said was the son can come in, claim it, and then walk away with $1.5 million of their wealth, which they didn't want to give to their son. The way you get around that is if those assets, those other assets apart from the main home, were held outside in trusts and companies, then it would only be the value of the home the son can come after. And in this instance, it was worth about $1 million. So yes, he still would have had a claim, but it would be a much smaller claim. Whereas the other part, which was being put away in trust and all the rest of it, because they can control it in a way and then transfer that to the daughters. So these things are really, really important, and you need to think about it quite early on, not later on when it can have a major effect. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, and have a great day.